Here's a Malayalam film that apparently is made on a budget of 20 crores, but it ended up making more than 150 crores at the box office. Now, for the purpose of this video, it won't be fair to just focus on the financial gains that this film did at the box office, but it is definitely a reliable enough indicator to raise the question of why this Malayalam film called Manjummel Boys, which is now streaming on Hotstar, ended up making or ended up becoming a sensation, a pan India phenomenon, and ended up receiving huge critical acclaim. I've said ended up too many times. Anyways, well, first, let's bring you up to speed in case you are living under a rock. Manjummel Boys is a survival drama set in 2006 and is inspired by the real life events of a group of friends from Manjummel who went on a trip to Kodaikanal. While exploring Guna Cave, one friend fell into a deep pit known as Devil's Kitchen. This pit had a deadly reputation. No one who fell in it had ever come out alive. The film tells us the story of how this Manjummel Boys gang managed to save their friend from this perilous situation. Now, I'm sure that you can go ahead and check everything that has already been appreciated about the film: the cinematography, the editing, the pop culture references, and the inclusion of real visuals of the folks involved in the epilogue. So, I won't get into all of that, but what really needs to be addressed in this video is the probable reason behind this film becoming nothing short of a blockbuster. And for that, we must take a deep dive into the genre itself: survival drama or survival thriller. Basically, we are talking about survival stories. Now, if I ask you which was the last survival story that you loved watching, you might not have too many options to recall. And honestly, that's not your fault because there are only a handful of Indian films that can be recalled in this genre. Now, unsurprisingly, a lot of films from this genre have sprung from Malayalam cinema itself because once the ball starts rolling, it becomes easier to push it forward. The earliest one can be traced back to another 1990 Malayalam film called Maluti, directed by Bharathan. It features Shamili in the lead role alongside Jairam and Urvashi. The film is set in the 1980s and revolves around a young girl who becomes trapped in a drill hole, ultimately surviving after enduring many hours of struggle. Then we witnessed a recent re-emergence of the genre with Helen, released in 2019, Malin Kunyu in 2022, and the most recent Oscar-nominated outing was 2018, released last year. And yes, of course, we also had Adu Jivitam this year. But we cannot move ahead in this video without discussing how making a survival story is not a joke. Filmmakers must navigate around challenges like logistical hurdles while shooting in a remote location. The physical demands on actors are considerable, requiring rigorous trainings and preparation for physically demanding scenes. And additionally, creating realistic depictions of natural disasters and wilderness landscapes that requires advanced special effect techniques, adding complexity and cost to production. Most importantly, you have to depict survival situations authentically, demanding meticulous attention to detail and extensive research in the case of true stories. Furthermore, survival dramas also face the issue of how to tell a similar story in a distinct style without sounding repetitive, and you have to offer a fresh and innovative style of storytelling. Even though we are at an infancy stage of this genre in the country, it is clear that possible permutations and combinations are being tried out by storytellers. But now let us shift our attention from those who craft these stories to the ones who consume these stories. You and I, we, the audience. Let us now ask this question of why we all love such stories. You can share your reason in the comments, but the biggest reason for this, in my opinion, is about how these tales of human endurance keep drawing us in time and again. At the heart of survival dramas lies a primal instinct deeply embedded within the human psyche, and that is the instinct to survive. It's a fundamental drive that has guided our species since the dawn of time, shaping our behaviors, decisions, and even our storytelling choices. But survival dramas offer more than just adrenaline pumping thrill, horror, or action. They delve into the depths of human resilience, revealing the extraordinary lengths to which individuals will go to stay alive. Whether it is battling the elements in a desolate wilderness or facing down adversaries in a fight of survival, these stories showcase the ingenuity, resourcefulness, and the sheer determination of the human spirit. Lastly, survival dramas serve as mirrors reflecting the anxieties and uncertainties of the worlds around us. They confront us with existential questions about our place in this universe, the fragility of our civilization, and the precariousness of life itself. In an age that is marked by environmental crisis, social upheaval, and global pandemics, these stories resonate with a newfound urgency, reminding us of our shared vulnerability in the face of an uncertain future. And that is the reason why we all love survival stories. And that is also the reason why we all love Manjummel Boys.